If you're watching this video, you're probably trying to figure out how to start macros to lose weight during menopause. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to start macros in menopause, how macros will work now for you for weight loss, and two common mistakes I see often with beginners starting macros during menopause. First of all, what are macros? Macros are short for macronutrients, which are the nutrients that our bodies need in large quantities to help our mind and bodies function optimally. There are three main macronutrients: proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. The first thing you want to do is start macros is download a macro tracking app. If you want a suggestion, I've got a link in the description below for you. After you download the macro tracking app, you would set up your profile, such as your height, weight, and goals. This next step is very important and where most beginners make their first mistake with macros. The first thing you need to do is track your foods, beverages, or anything that you consume into your macro tracking app for 1 week. This is a pretty simple process. The macro tracking app I suggest has a food scanner and even a search bar to find most foods. This allows you to do the first macro audit to see where you're at. It's very common for beginners to come to me wanting their macros before they even have an idea of what their first week macro audit is. This is very important because getting macros first and trying to jump to them never works, as you might even know right now. But what if you might be saying, I've been eating junk food, they're not going to be right. I want you to track just as you are eating now so that you can go back and look into the nutritional section of the macro tracking app and look at the macronutrients in those foods that you're currently eating. This is the most important part of starting macros as a beginner, to assess what you're actually eating to help you build an awareness of what's in the foods you're eating so that you can make better choices. Is this resonating with you? If so, hit that like button right now. Comment down below. Let me know if this is something you're having a problem with right now. Macros are not a diet in the sense of restricting calories, carbohydrates, or fats. Using macros as a lifestyle is a way to learn how to eat all foods, even those fun foods that you may feel that you cannot consume and still lose weight. Macros work as they are a way to learn how to eat and put foods together to lower insulin levels. This is huge, especially in menopause, where naturally we would have increased insulin resistance due to the drop in estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. There's no need to quit eating pasta or even bread in menopause. This is often a very common concern my beginning clients often have. They have been told by trainers or their doctors that pasta and breads make them fat in menopause. This simply is not true. With macros, you learn about nutrition and how to be able to incorporate carbohydrates in, even such as pasta or breads, if those are the foods that you like. If you're new to my channel and you're on a weight loss journey, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss out on more videos each week. Hi, I'm Michelle. I have a program where we specialize in helping women 40 to 65 years of age lose the weight using macros without the use of diets or meal plans. I've helped countless women who struggle with weight gain during this time lose the weight and keep it off. If you're serious about losing weight, I'd love to help. You can find my contact information down in the description below. The next question you're probably thinking right now is, how do I figure out my calories and macros? And that is a much more challenging question. Your calories need to be set at maintenance in menopause. A common mistake I hear a lot of trainers and so-called gurus telling beginners that they need a calorie deficit, and this is not true. Trying to lose weight with a calorie deficit in menopause is not only not sustainable, but can worsen menopause symptoms by causing more hormonal imbalances. Each macronutrient is involved in either making our hormones or helping those hormones work. And when we lower calories, we are most often causing a decline in our estrogen, progesterone, and even testosterone. This is actually what we don't want to happen. As for macros, this is where I would advise an expert to calculate those, as macros are dependent on more than weight, height, age, and activity level. Many beginners are tempted to use online calculators for macros, and this ends up being frustrating for them. Online calculators cannot account for these hormonal changes during this time of a woman's life. And for your macros to be sustainable and work for you long term, they need to be based on those factors as well. This is something that I teach my students to do. Another common mistake I see with online calculators or extreme deficits are excess carbohydrates. Carbohydrates should not be less than 130 grams a day, especially if you're in menopause. Using macros with too low carbs can not only create more insulin resistance, but cravings, mood swings, and binging. Using macros with excess carbohydrates, meaning those anywhere that are near 200 or above, can also cause insulin resistance. Restricting carbohydrates can greatly decrease the thyroid function, and I see this often in my clients with hypothyroidism. They have a history of dieting, restricting carbs, and/or intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting also creates more stress on the thyroid. Now, after you track your foods for a week, you want to do a macro audit, looking at your average of protein, fats, and carbohydrates. The first thing you want to look at is your protein. Protein is a macronutrient that is very important, and especially in menopause. It helps make up most of the body's hormones. A diet deficient in the right type and amount of protein can not only cause weight gain, but worsen menopausal symptoms. Many beginners find that they start with an average protein between 40 to 60 grams a day. This is okay. This is also a common stumbling block for a beginner. They will have an end goal to reach, say, protein of 150 grams, and they try to jump from 40 grams to 150 grams. And not only would that be frustrating, but not advised clinically. Protein takes a lot of energy for the body to break up and digest. And trying to jump to the total protein can cause bloating, extreme digestion, upset, and even feel overwhelming. If you want to lose the weight and learn it as a lifestyle without dieting, I'd love to help. You can find my contact information down below to book a call with me. And be sure to watch the next video on how to lose menopause belly fat without dieting.